Hi, it's Sonny. It's Friday night. I got a little time on my hands. Didn't have anything to do, so I thought I'd talk to you. Oh, it's a producer. You hear Fred. Yeah, he's out there talking to somebody in the street. I thought maybe I would chat a little bit about the difference between arrogance, confidence, kind of that sort of thing. Somebody brought it up, hit my mind. As usually when I start talking, somebody will give me something I thought. Um, the arrogant person is someone who is faking it till they make it. There used to be a thing that we learned when we were kids. If you didn't know how to do something, you didn't, for some reason, you weren't taught. You would find somebody that was very accomplished at something, and then you would mimic them, and you would think to yourself, okay, well, what does so and so do? How would they would handle this? And it works. It works. Um, but you have to know when to stop, and you have to know when you figure it out. The arrogant person often doesn't know when they've made it. They don't know when to stop, when they stop faking it. The for those of us who had childhoods where there wasn't anybody who nurtured us or taught us how to do anything, we had to bring ourselves up pretty much by the talk about bringing yourselves up by the your bootstraps. We didn't get the feedback, so we never knew when we made it. We just kept trying and trying and trying. We never knew, and so we kind of messed up on that. And the arrogant person is actually a person who has never gotten to the goal. They never gotten to the goal. They're perfectionists in that sense. That nothing is ever good enough. The confident person knows when they've reached their goal, when they are adequate in their skills, whatever they're doing, that it's enough. And so they feel confident. They can settle in to who they are and what they do. And so they don't need to be validated and approved all the time. They don't need it. Not that you don't want it. I think everybody needs validation and wants approval. And I do. You can please go up to my Facebook page. Write something nice up on my Facebook page. But I don't need it. The truly confident person does not need somebody else's approval. They just like it, but they don't need it. But the arrogant person is always looking for somebody else's approval. That's the assistant producer. That's Marlo. Um, but the arrogant person is always looking for someone else's approval. Uh, and they're looking around the crowd to see who else they can get, when you're at a party. They're not looking you straight in the eye. The confident person will look you straight in the eye, and they will talk to you, and they make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. The arrogant person has to be the most important person in the room. Think of the Wizard of Oz. Okay, when he was behind the curtain, trying to be something that he was not. The arrogant person is the Wizard of Oz. And I guess this is kind of on the low end of the spectrum of narcissism. Most narcs are arrogant. Um, and narcissism is a spectrum. It's most of us don't deal with pathological narcissist. So it's that wizard in there, and that person is often can be a bully because they have to raise themselves up. They need to look down on somebody for them to feel like they're enough, which is, when you think about it, something that pretty sad. You got to put somebody else down so you can feel good enough about yourself. So think about that, when you're dealing with somebody in the office or whatever who is who's arrogant or a social thing, you really kind of have to pity them because they're scared deep down inside, and they're afraid. They're afraid that you're going to get to take their mask off and you're going to see that they're inadequate. Because even if actually they are adequate in what they do and their accomplishments, deep down inside of themselves, they don't think they're adequate. Nobody told them so. They didn't have that. And because they can't believe it, um, they don't believe you can either. So they bully and they boast and have to blow themselves up into the Macy Day parade balloon. Feel sorry for them. And when you really, if you have to deal with them very often, picture the Wizard of Oz. It'll take the way down. It'll take it way down, the agitation that they can give you. And think about this too, when you're dealing with children. Um, they need validation. They need to be told when they're doing a good job, so they know how to get their confidence. You can't give somebody else confidence. Confidence is something that we do for ourselves. We build confidence uh, by completing jobs, completing something, by falling down, picking ourselves back up again. That's how you build confidence. It's not just by somebody saying good job. And surprisingly enough, kids and dogs, they're really good judges of character, and they will be able to know when you're BSing them. Okay, so when they do a good job, you say good job, but you don't be like that. Those helicopter moms or whatever they call them nowadays, that every time Johnny passes gas, somebody's, oh, good job. Kid knows it. Kid knows it. He's not doing that. But we have to validate and tell people that they're learning, so they know when they're doing a good job. Uh, it's a fine line, because if you lie to somebody about it, they're not. They know you're lying, and they're not going to trust you. Okay, so you've not accomplished anything. So feeding somebody's ego is not going to give them confidence. It is something that they have to learn to do for themselves. So, but the confident person can sink into their own knowing. They know. They do the right thing for the right reason. It's because they enjoy what they're doing. They know they've accomplished something. So they don't have to have all the time somebody telling them that they're doing a good job. Although, like I say, go to my Facebook page. I got humor tonight. So when you're dealing with that narcissistic kind of personality, the arrogant personality, what you want to do is pity them. Are scared. They are so scared underneath. And you can walk away from them. They can't walk away from themselves. They have to live with themselves. So you can afford to be nice to them. They just want to be loved like everybody else. Think about it. Wizard of Oz takes away all the trauma from dealing with them. Have a nice weekend. Nice chatting with you again. Oh, I got new glasses. Did you see my new glasses? What do you think? I got 2 new pair. I didn't put them on because of the reflection. 2 new pair. All right. Take care. Good talking to you again. I love to talk. Never get tired of talking.